Siemi, and feed to Bonabet too. To all those in YouTube land, Facebook, or wherever you may be listening to this, Siemi, Bonabet too. Today we got a good topic here that we're going to talk about. I got the power. So we want to delve into it from a historical perspective. We're going to go backwards. I like going backwards. We're going to go to the Greek because we know that the Greeks and the Romans copied from us, from our ancestors. So we're going to go and look and see first from a historical perspective what they said or saying. And then we're going to bring it back home to what's really going on from our perspective, from the melanated African perspective, particularly the Bantu perspective. All right. So y'all pray for me that this word will come forth, as I stated, with power and with might, and that it will accomplish what the Most High meant for it to accomplish as it go forth. So with that being said, we're going to have prayer. We're going to ask that Elderman Zombie will lead us in prayer.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Tata Nzambi, we honor you this morning. We honor you on this afternoon, this evening, wherever the people are, Tata. We give you honor and kimbo, for you truly are worthy, and worthy more than what we can give you. Tata, we ask that you would speak through us, that your words will go out, as Queen Brenda has said, accomplish what you sent it out to do, that the hearts of the people who will hear this, they will receive it and they will walk in it. Tata, we ask that you will move upon us, move upon us, wake and shake your people up. Tata Nzambi, there's no more time to be playing around and fooling around, but it's time for us to walk in power and authority. What you created us to do, allow it to come to fruition. Tata, we submit and surrender to you. We seek counsel from you, and we ask that you will guide and direct us. And as we do, as you created us to do, we ask that you would be pleased in us and continue to strengthen us and to equip us as we go forth. We say Matondo Masaka, hallelujah, Ingeta and Ingeta.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Share screen here. Now, I know that a lot of you all on here, when we get on this here camera, y'all get shy and so many good things come out after the fact. That's when the juicy stuff come out. So I want this to be interactive, okay? Because we're all learning. We're all learning about our heritage, our culture that was stripped away from us. The Most High is revealing things to us. And this was given to me. And I'm quite sure that some of this stuff, when I start talking about it, you will see, oh, the Most High have spoken to me about it as well. So share what has been shared with you, what has been revealed to you as well. That is the way we grow. You know, we have to share the knowledge, you know, as we are awakening, as our DNA is starting to open up, and we're starting to remember Ugubani, who we are as a people that was taken away from us. So please, 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 please don't wait till after the fact, because those on the continent that are listening and all over the globe, they need to hear your voice also of what is being released in your spirit as well. Patata Nzambi, all right? Is that okay?
Ingeta.
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 All righty here. Let me put it on my slideshow. Oh, that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to let me see here, because I'm so used to doing yours. Oh, here it is, right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you hit it once or twice?
Once.
Okay.
It was just being
Maybe
on
we can
already.
minimize that.
Can y'all see the screen okay?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, no. But you cannot. Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. All righty here. So we all know that the Bible is nothing more than African culture. The setting, when you go to the book of Genesis and it talks about the 4 rivers coming out from Eden, when you look at those areas and even go to the words of today that they translate the rivers that they use in the Bible in antiquity, you will see that it's in the heart of Africa. So that book is our culture that they have taken and perverted some things, and some things they didn't understand. It's like I had mentioned to someone that it's like somebody coming into your house, taking over your house, and then they going and telling other people about your house and what's going on and they can't tell your story. So they can't tell our story, and it's time for us to tell our story now, because the image that they portray to others is a very slighted image. It's not the correct image. Everything about us that they speak about us and our the ways of our ancestors, and you will see this even when it comes to our spirituality, they will label things as magic, even though it's the exact same thing in the Bible, which they call spiritual. They call ours magic because they know that that is a negative connotation. They also call it pagan or a savage. You will see in antiquity that they use such words to demean our culture, you know, as a people, because they had a goal that they wanted to accomplish, and they did a very good job of doing it. So we're going to delve into that. And what we're going to look at today is John 1:1, where it talks about in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. We want to take a deeper look at that, because that right there, my dear, that is talking about our spirituality that the Christian church, organized religion, has taken, perverted it, changed it, and teach it incorrectly. In order to understand the Bible, you have to understand the culture of the people, which, as I stated prior, is African culture. If not, then you will misinterpret it. And that is what has happened over the years. And so now we're all messed up people, because we think it's saying one thing when it is not. So, but we're living in the era now where as the Bible stated, that knowledge is being increased.
We can change this because it's just showing one photo.
Okay.
It should be showing.
You want all of it?
Not all of it, but it should be showing. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so the top is Miguel on. Oh, he's not on. All right. So the title of this is I Got the Power.
I got the power.
Power of the spoken word. And there's a Kikongo saying, it's Mambu Makila, words are bullets, but words are also seeds, you all. So we need to use our words wisely. So with the saying words are bullets, we know what that means. Bullets kill, right? Words can kill. I remember growing up, and I know a lot of you all, I know in the States anyway, I don't know about our family that's in the Caribbean. If so, let me know. We used to say this little saying, the little girls I know would say it, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. And we used to say that when somebody was saying something mean or ugly about us, to try to, you know, help diminish the effects of those negative words that they were saying. And we used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. You know, we'll have our hand on our hip. You know how we did it as little girls back then. Y'all remember that?
Yes. Yep.
All righty. So words can hurt. Words, they do hurt. So we need to use our words cautiously and wisely. And I want to show a video here real quick. Let me see here.
Watch your words.
Oh,
you all
let
hear
me
it?
share it. Let me share it, because you
No,
all
here.
can't see it.
Can you hear it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Long as you can, I'm gonna still share my screen
No,
though.
they should be able to see it. Can you see it as
I can
well?
see it. I can
Yes.
see it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. Okay.
See, the spoken word is one of the most powerful devices in the universe. Some say the spoken word is even more powerful than thought. See, words are thoughts that are expressed. And when something is expressed, it's pushed out. It's moved more quickly throughout the universe. Words alters the universe in greater impact. It's a different level of vibration than thought. In the Bible, it states that God created the universe and everything in it with words. So remember, you are created in the image and likeness of the Creator, sharing those same creative qualities. What you say matters because what you speak eventually becomes matter. Remember, everything is energy, and your words are a form of this energy. You can build up your house or you can tear it down using the spoken word. Can you imagine the amount of energy that is produced from the language we often use? Every cell in our body responds to the vibration of our words. Our subconscious mind is always listening and giving us what we claim to be true in our lives. That's why affirmations are so powerful. The words and phrases that you habitually use are so impressed on the subconscious mind, they eventually become a belief. And when you form a belief, miracles happen and your reality changes. When I do my affirmations, I use the greatest, most powerful words in the universe. I am. I am is the strongest statement in the universe. Whatever you put behind I am is created in your life. In ancient times, uttering the name I am was forbidden and banned and was even punishable by death because the elders knew the amount of power those words held. When you say I am, you are announcing the presence of God in you. So when doing your affirmations, say them in the present tense. I am or I have. Never say I'm going to be, because those commands will always stay in the future. When saying your affirmations, say them with conviction and authority. Command your reality. My favorite affirmation is, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise. It takes 21 to 30 days to form a complete habit. So for the next 30 days, I challenge you to only speak positive words and phrases. Totally monitor your vocabulary. Only speak words of good health, prosperity, compassion, and positivity. Talk about what you want. Don't talk about what you don't want. Talk about the things you love and don't even mention the things you fear. For 30 days, do this and watch how your reality changes for the better, bringing you the desires that you have called forth. This is Justin from You Are Creators, and we.
All righty, all righty. Let me get out of here. I'll go back. I gotta go back to my screen.
Let's click on that and then do it.
I didn't mean that. I was on the wrong one. Hold on, you all. Let me get back to where my spot was. Anybody have any comments on that video?
It made perfect sense. Made
What's
perfect
it?
sense to me.
You get what was
The Most High is everything and everywhere. He can't be encapsulated into just an entity. He is everything and he's everywhere. And when it talks about it at the beginning, was the word, the breath of the Most High. The breath is the life, and the breath forces out frequency, vibration to create. He does things through us. The words that we speak, the breath of life is him in us. The words that we speak carry the power behind that breath. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's that was very deep what what he was saying. There you go. It's there. Very true what he was saying, because, you know, as he said, our words, it produces, you know, air, and it goes forth. And what we send it out to do, because we're made in his image, after his likeness, is going to accomplish that. You know, so I'm gonna stop right now, because I don't want to go into say something that she's gonna bring up, you know, later.
No, you can go ahead, but so you won't forget it. Go ahead and say it.
Well, I know I said this earlier. You said it was in what you were saying, but you know, when we speak things, you know, I'll just go this route. When we speak things, we really have to be careful. This is why I'm careful and cautious when I speak to people, how I speak to people. Even speaking with Brenda, I'm cautious about what I say. When I speak to my children, I'm careful about what I say, because I know I'm made in the image of the Most High. So I know when I speak, my words are going to go forth and they're going to accomplish what I say. So this is why we have to speak life into our children, speak intelligence to them, that they are somebody, that they are achievers and successors, you know, that they are the people of the Bible, chosen by the Most High. You know, speak those positive things into them so that they will rise up and grow. Okay, I'm being quiet. She tapped me on my leg.
About to go on. Yes.
So I feel like the I am, as we were talking about the I am, is more of a vibration than a word. And when we say it as a word, it loses its elevation. It diminishes it. Mm-hmm. You know, the Hindus, when they do their chant, they chant Om. They chant Om, and that Om is a variation of the I am. And that Om is written like a number 3 backwards.
Wow.
So,
that's why
it's a vibration more than it is a word, and it is a connection to the I am.
That's why it's important to learn another language. The English language is the weakest language in order to do anything. All the other languages are stronger than the English language. So it's good to try to learn our native language. That's where the power is.
Yes. Yes.
And I keep, go ahead, Queen.
I'm sorry, Elder.
Oh,
also, you know, is about the intent that's in the heart. So when it's brought forth, you know, we are life givers. We bring forth life, but also Tata Nzambi, because we are Nzambi, we bring forth judgment as well. And that's when he said, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So it's also about the intent that's behind the vibration or the word that's being spoken. So in what we speak, it must come forth through the heart of love. And even in judgment, you'll find that love is there because love is balance. So we are to release that which is in Nzambi.
Yes.
Yes, and you're right. When we judge righteously, yes, love is there. And that is the highest. We're talking about frequency here now. That is the highest frequency is love. It's operating out of love. And that's what Yesiah was trying to teach us about love. You know, that is the first commandment. So getting back on track here, you all to the, yes, it is. A lot of good comments and input. Some things that you all have brought out is in the teaching as well, talking about the frequency and the words, and we will get into that. And I would say this, since we already put that out there, you know, words are frequency, right? So, and we're going to get into see what actually the frequency is. So you see that in our culture, our ancestors, they did a lot of oral tradition, passing things on orally. And so the Europeans, and they had writing, mind you. Remember that writings and letters and alphabet came from the continent of Africa. So And so when they came over there, they assumed that because a lot of things were orally passed down traditionally, they thought that it was backwards. But our ancestors, the wise, they were so wise, they understood and they knew the power of the spoken word and the frequency, you see. So they spoke the words rather than writing them, because they knew that it had more power, because it was frequency, because as Queen Kelly said, that we're created in the image of the Creator, and everything that he created, it came about by speaking, by vibration, by the words. And because we are created in his image, we too can do likewise and speak. And our ancestors knew this, because our ancestors, we as Africans period, are very spiritual beings, and they knew the importance of vibrating and putting the words out there in the atmosphere, because writings and words are just a representation of that spoken word. So going to John 1:5, we want to take a look at the actual word here in there. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. And that word, we all know, many of us, that it is logos, Strong's G3056, and it means, it's defined as uttered by a living voice, a speech, decree, a mandate, or order, that which is declared, a thought, declaration, the act of speaking, doctrine, teaching, etc., etc. And it comes from the root word G3004, and it's something said, including your thought, because first it's a thought before it is a word. So you think it first, and then it manifests out as you speak it. It's also reasoning, and you will see that in the Kikongo, I could not find the word in the dictionary, but you will find reasoning in there, and it's attached to something else in there with reasoning, and that is power. So I tell you, it's just deep, and it's fascinating when we begin to, as Lizolo said, look at our language, our original language that was taken away from us. It has so much depth, so much meaning, and the Bible, which they have tried to manipulate, so it just comes alive. You see and you understand, because you see your culture now, because you're learning as you learn the words, you learn the culture as word, because the language is what comprises the culture of men. So as we learn the words, we begin to learn our culture, and we see our culture in the Bible. So. And also it says that the word is the divine expression, and they made it out to be Christ. And we'll look at that a little deeper as we go on to see, about that there. And it's the utterance of words again. So I told you I want to go first to the Greek. We know that the New Testament, it was the Greek, and we're going to see also that the New Testament was devised up with a lot of influence with Greek philosophy. That is why you see things a little different in the old and the new, and that is why you see a lot of times that in most of these Christian churches, they teach out of the New Testament, and I don't understand why they do that when those are epistles. It says that, and they'll tell you that when they're preaching, oh, they're epistles, they're letters. How can you live your life off the letter? We're to live off of the word. The word gives life, not epistles, okay? So they need to change that. So in Greek philosophy, it is related to a universal divine reason, or the mind of the Creator. We're talking about logos. We're talking about word here. And so the Etymology Online Dictionary defines logos as the divine word. In the 1500s, it says. The second person, they say, of Christian Trinity, from Greek logos, word, speech, to speak, to pick out words. Now, the Greek word logos was used by Neoplatonists in metaphysical and theological sense, involving notion of both reason and word. And it was subsequently, it stated, was picked up by the New Testament writers. So in other words, before it became a part of the New Testament, of the letters, it was a theological or a philosophical thought of a group of people called the Neoplatonists. And they were called Neoplatonists because they followed the teachings of Plato. So there's a lot of Greek influence in the New Testament. So if anybody from Christianity out there looking at, no offense, but your world is going to be shaken up right here. All right. So we want to take a look and see who these Neoplatonist people are and what did they think? What was going on in their head and what was going on at that particular time when they were thinking about this word logos here, defining it with the use as describing word. So it says that the Neoplatonism is Platonism. You said Platonism. Platonism, okay. A system of idealistic, spiritualistic philosophy tending towards mysticism, which flourished in the pagan world of Greece and Rome during the 1st century of the Christian era. Now, those of you that have studied Christianity, you know that they say that it started around the 1st century. So here you see that this philosophy came about from Greece and Rome during the 1st century of the Christian era. Isn't it interesting? It derives its name from the fact that it's first represented through their inspiration, as I stated, from the doctrines of Plato. Although it was well known that many of the treatises on which they relied are not genuine works, but it originated in Kemet. We're not going to go there, though. That's another teaching, y'all. Y'all following me?
We here.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. I was looking at the chat here. I saw some comments. Platon, you said it's called what?
Platonist.
He said I was saying it wrong. Platonism and Christianity. There's a site here where I got this information from. It was a major influence on Christian theology, Neoplatonism, philosophy, in other words, Plato, in other words, influenced Christian theology throughout late antiquity, in the Middle Ages, and in the West. St. Augustine, you'll see when you begin to research all these so-called quote unquote church fathers, they were steeped heavily into this these philosophical thinkings and things back then that shaped what is known today as Christianity. So this was due to St. Augustine of Hippo, who was influenced by the early Neoplatonists, Plotinus and Porphyry, as well as the works of the Christian writer Pseudo Dionysius, the Areopagite, who was influenced by later Neoplatonists such as Proclus and Damascius. I'm slaughtering these Greek words.
Yes, you are.
Damascius. Let me move this here, so I can see here. Okay. So there was this Greek philosopher named Heraclitus. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got that.
He first used the term, they say, logos around 600 BC to designate the divine reason plan. Let me move this so I can see this. Which coordinates a change in universe, and that is from the Cambridge Dictionary. I'm not going, y'all can see where I got it from because I have it up there. So he was from Ephesus, from the Ephesian school of pre-Socratic. You see Socrates, that's philosophy. So you got Plato, you got Socrates. So all of these people with these philosophical ideas, it infiltrated a lot of the Christian thought and dogma. You'll see that. The logos is found within the writings of Heraclitus of Ephesus, 535 to around 470 BC. Now, this was even way before, as you can see, Christianity came around, and even Christ, as you can see with the date here. So they say. So logos, the word, it is reasoning or planning. And it says, again, it's just talking about here where they got it from. They said these concepts are found in other places as well. And it says, it became particularly significant in Christian writings and doctrines as a vehicle for conceiving developing, creating the role of Christ as the principle of God active in the creation, in the continuous structuring of the cosmos, and the revealing the divine plan of salvation to human beings. So you got the Stoics here that they're talking about. These are all these philosophical people. I'm not going to read all of this, you all. It says, as an active, rational, and spiritual principle that permeated all reality, they call the logos providence, nature, God, the soul of the universe. This is the logos, the word that they're describing here. Then you have Philo. He was a first century CE-ish Jewish philosopher. Taught that the logos was the intermediary between the creator and the cosmos, being both the agent of creation and the agent through which the human mind can apprehend, the creator. And Philo stated that logos was both immanent in the world and at the same time the transcendent divine mind. So Hellenistic, we know, is the Greek, and they had a great influence of, as I stated, in the New Testament. So because in that particular time, they were over there in Northeast Africa, in Kemet, where they learned about a lot of the things that they have placed in the Bible. There's a lot of plagiarism we know that have went on, those of you that have researched things over in Kemet. So it says here, before I proceed, anybody got anything to say so far? I told you I wanted this to be interactive. Thoughts, questions, comments, agreement, disagreement. Okay. Is Danny on yet? I guess not. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay. Y'all getting quiet on me. What's going on? What's going through your minds? That's what I want to know. What's going through the minds of the set apart people?
We're absorbing. One of the things I hear with this that keeps resonating in my mind is that how the English took the words and they pronounce words phonically by phonetics, but it is what they heard in the Kikongo, what they heard, they translated it into words. But in the Kikongo, the words, they take the words and make them a vibration. Mm-hmm. with the nasal and stuff like that. So it's like the Kikongo words are really vibrations. Like even with the I am, it sounds like ngai. Mm-hmm. But also the word nigga sounds like ngai. So it's like, they have reversed the word and made it a word, and Kikongo is a vibration.
Yes, words, period, are a vibration. In our language, Kikongo, the Bantu language, is a very high frequency, whereas the European languages is not, and they know this. That is why they changed Congo with the K to a C. They knew exactly what they were doing. It's very political now, and they don't even like using the K in Congo now because of what it represents. So, but yes, words, period, of frequency. And we know that the English language, once you begin to really study the English language, a lot of their sayings are very, not only just low vibrational words, but they're demonic. They're full of curses. Once you really begin delving into it.
Yeah, and the English language is an abstract language.
Very much so.
Going other is more concrete.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's more powerful, because it's more concrete. We may say things like I think. Well, thinking is abstract. What is that? What is that concretely saying? Whereas in a Kikongo, You're knowing
Yes.
something, you know. So, and when you speak things in the English language, you're right. It is demonic. It's more of a like you're casting spells or something. But in the Kikongo and the other languages, you're definitive and what more definitive than when you say it in the English language. So
Yes. Yes.
And you know, the other thing too that I like for us to keep in mind when as she's doing this, what I've been hearing is in scripture when Shaitani, the adversary, said, I will exalt myself above the clouds and be like the Most High. So as she's been going through this, you know, we can see what Shaitani has done. Not only has he, you know, flipped some things, you know, in the minds of people as far as worship, but he even flipped words. Okay, so look at the language or languages that is, you know, on this earth, and think about the English language, how low in vibration it is. You know, some have said it's a bastard language. You know, so he has flipped languages as well.
And the English language is a conglomerate of so many, and that's why they say it, they call it a bastardized language, just because it is a conglomerate of so many. The French, the German, Latin, all it's a conglomerate of all of those when you begin to delve into their words. So, all right, Hellenistic philosophy is the root of Christian theology. What? No, can't be. Hellenistic philosophy is the root of Christian theology. What? Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. You mean to tell me when we was in Christianity that those concepts in Christian theology were Hellenistic? What does that even mean? What does that mean, family?
The Greek, the Hellenists were the Greeks. So it was more Greek interpretation or Greek understanding rather than a Bantu, and the original correct understanding. We were really following a Greek interpretation and the Greek way of seeing things and the Greek way of understanding things. And so on.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So like I said, you had somebody coming from the outside in, trying to explain what they saw on the inside. You can't tell me what's going on in my house. And that's essentially what they did. They came into Africa. They came in first wanting to learn, because when you research it, you will see that those pyramids, what they call pyramids, they had temples. They were temples, and they were actually schools. And so in these schools, they taught about our spirituality, which encompass a way of life for us. Because as I stated, they learned about the cosmos, science, medicine, all of that was encompassed within that. And this was taught, you know, they called it schools. And to be initiated, they said, this is a term that they use, you know, outsiders could not, especially in the Bantu, in our Bantu cosmology, outsiders could not come into our schools and learn. And so the Europeans were upset with this. And so they barred it. And they would kill anybody that they found out when they came over there that was going to these schools or operating these schools. And so they learned so much that was passed down from eons. So as you can see, we've lost a lot, so to speak, but things are starting to come back. We're starting to remember. It's something happening within our DNA. I can be reading a Bible, and I've read my books, because I told you I have multiple books on our spirituality, because I want to know, and then plus I pray a lot and ask the Most High to, you know, reveal to me the ways of our righteous ancestors, the ways that they walk. And I'm reading the Bible and I'm like, this is what it means. I see the truth of what it means now. And it's not what they had taught.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
Greek tried to translate and integrate something they could not understand into their frame of reference. There's
Yes.
no way we were so far beyond what they were. It was hard for them. So the translations and everything that they tried to bring over, they had to use what they had a frame of reference for. They had to use what they knew and then try to integrate it into their own philosophy. And then it became the standard.
Yes, absolutely. Mama Nicholas, your hand was raised.
Yes, I just wanted to say that that explains, at least to me, it explains why when we go into Christianity, something didn't seem right. And it always, at least for me, I always felt as if something was missing. And I'm missing out something somewhere. It was because, I guess in our DNA, the truth was there, but what we were hearing and what we were learning was something that conflicted with what it should be. And that is why we were finding it strange. As you were speaking, that just came to me. That's why something was off. We felt that something was off when we were in Christianity. It really was off.
Yes, I said the same thing when I was in there years and years ago. I would say something is missing. I just kept saying something is missing. I said going to church Sunday after Sunday, the same old. I said something is missing. I would go through dry spells. I would feel like I'm just drying up. And I remember telling one of the missionaries, I said, I feel like I'm dying. I'm drying up. It's like I'm not getting fed. And she said, oh, that's normal. And I'm like, this is not normal. I said to myself, multiple times I felt that way.
Yeah.
Everything missed in the translation. Can you imagine? They looked at some of our scriptures and words and they said, wait a minute, that can't mean that. Oh, it must mean this. And then they lost the complete meaning of what was being said.
Okay, we had 3 people that had their hands raised. Go ahead. It was 2. I thought I saw 3.
Mine was still up. I just lowered it.
Okay.
So did someone else have their hand up?
All right. So that was good, you all. So they was trying to understand our culture, our spirituality, our language, our mores, our way of life. They was trying to understand these concepts, precepts, and they couldn't. And so now they since they have supposedly diminished us as a people, and they put what they learned in what they call the Bible. I'm gonna say this real quick. I heard some people say, if it's not in the Bible, I don't believe it. Well, how in the world can you contain the Most High in a book when he said the heavens cannot contain him? The Bible says that the Creator is a spirit, and that they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So a spirit is not in a book and you can't contain him in the book. It is a spirit that is within inside of you, because it says that he breathed the breath of life, and we'll get into that. And man became a living being. So his breath, what the Greeks call pneuma, where we get a lot of these words in healthcare, like pneumonitis and pneumonia and so forth and so on, because it has to do with the lung, which you breathe. It is the air. So the very air that you breathe, it comes from the Creator. So he's inside of you. So he can speak more to you in your consciousness than a book ever can. The book just contains a minute portion. It cannot contain the full essence of the Creator. Who in their right mind would belittle the Creator to a book? Something's off kilter with you to think that you can belittle the Creator and put him inside a book, and this book contains everything about the Creator. The Bible itself even tells you that he, the Creator, will reveal his deep mysteries unto you. No book, he will. But if it's not inside the Bible, you won't believe it. Okay. All right, hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Barely. It's muffled. We can't We can't make out really what you're saying there, Congress. I don't know what happened. It's not clear. Somebody in the chat group said most people are of a religious origin and not on a spiritual journey. And that is so very true.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. What I was going to say was what you were saying about the Bantu languages being so powerful and having so much knowledge with the original scrolls. I remember seeing a reading where when Leopold sent the Portuguese into Congo to try to, he was telling them, you can't teach these people. They know the Most High. And I read where they actually spoke with the king in Congo and went back and they told Leopold, look, these people know the scriptures better than we do. There's nothing we can teach them. They understand it better. And so that just, reminds me of how, the Bantu languages hold, and in scrolls, we hold more deep revelation and understanding of the word.
Yes, absolutely. And one day we'll realize and understand that we really, once you have a deep, close relationship with the Most High, you shouldn't need a book. Because you have him, you have the spirit of the Most High leading you and guiding you. Don't they teach you this in Christianity? So the book is just a frame of reference. That's all. So when you have what the book talks about, you have inside of you. So you have a real deal. I mean, it's just, it makes so much sense. So once we get to that place, well, I'm going to say other people, because I'm practically there. You won't need the Bible because the Spirit will reveal to you. You know, that's how Paul said he got his writings. Paul never met the Messiah, never saw him, but yet he wrote more about him than anybody in the Bible. How is it? He said he got it through revelation from the Most High. So you think that has stopped? That the Most High don't reveal today? I don't put limits on the Creator. I don't put him in a box. All right, who has their hand raised? Let's see here. Okay, they put it down.
Me. I just wanted to say, to confirm what you all have been saying, what Mama Nicholas said, it's like she felt something was missing. It's because the Mwanda have been speaking, even when we didn't know who we were. The Mwanda has been speaking through us. That's something you can't buy. You can't have unless you are chosen. You are one of his. So and that's the thing with the Kikongo language as well. It's more than a physical language, it's a spiritual language. So unless you have that Mwanda in you to lead you and guide you, like he said, into all truth and righteousness, they never came from that aspect. They never served Tatanzambi. They were pagan. So they're coming from a pagan origin. And so they don't have that spirituality in them. And said, so no, as much as they tried, they could not connect with the word like we can connect with the word.
Yes, absolutely. And you see a lot of paganism that has been incorporated into Christianity, and you can't get people in Christianity to see that when you tell them that it's a pagan origin. They don't want to hear it. So yes.
Even to simplify it all, religion is based off of doctrine.
Dogma.
Spirituality is based off the Most High. If you are not spiritual, you wouldn't understand that concept. You wouldn't be able to understand. That's why we feel that there's something missing, because we are spiritual people, and the Mwanda speaks in us, lives in us. The Most High is in us. A concept of a person, the person who goes off of religion, which is based off of man doctrine, to try to explain spirituality, would not understand what spirituality truly is. only a spiritual person can understand the difference between the two.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wonderfully said,
Yes.
Luzolo. Wonderfully said. All right. Who is this Galaxy tab? They got their hand up. Who is that?
Sorry, I should have put a name. My name is Rachel.
My name. That's my name. Mama Brenda. She's a psychologist.
Oh, okay. Welcome, welcome. You said Rachel or Rochelle?
Rachel, R-A, Rachel.
Rachel. My cousin
Yes,
is named
mine is
Rachel.
actually up before the both of them, and I so like that they spoke exactly about what I was going to touch on, because that is one of the problems. As I put in the chat, a lot of people try to identify religion and spirituality. It is two different things. And another thing is, we as a chosen people, I could tell you honestly, you sit here and you meditate quietly, God speaks to us in dreams and vision. We have that connection with the Most High, and a lot of people lack that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people could tell you nothing is going to happen to me, you know, that I would know, you know, because, and I could testify. When I tell you testify, I can testify. My aunt could tell you, I meditate, you pray, you fast, you latch on to him, not to what is around you, what is said around you. And that is the problem there. People latch on to religion, latch on to what a man says, but they don't understand that you need to search for yourself. Nobody could account for your salvation. That is in your hand.
Yes.
And we have
Yes.
too much information. We have too much things out there, and my people perish through a lack of knowledge. It's
Yes.
not that they prefer not to know, you know, because I would have had a conversation with some people. Like, they prefer, well, you see me, I grew up in this, and that's the stance they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very sad stance, because everything else you would grasp and you would change with the time, because you would buy a modern phone, you'd buy a modern gadget and put in your house, but you would not rewire and reconfigure that foolish, outdated thought that is going to make you and your whole generation perish. My opinion. My
Wow.
2 cents. Thank you.
And that 2 cents was worth a lot. You said a lot. You said a
Yes.
mouthful.
Yes.
Wow. You know.
Oh my goodness.
And you're right. The way we connect to the Most High is the ways which you stated. You know, you have to reflect on the inside itself, because that's where He is, not the outside. And so when you can try to connect from a religious perspective, that's on the outside, as was stated. That's what man says, that dogma, that doctrine. You know, I heard people say, well, no, because the scholars said. Well, what did the Spirit say though? I don't get it. What is the Spirit? You said that you're led by the Spirit, that the Spirit is inside of you. Why are you relying on what a man said versus what the Most High said? And what I'm learning out, those scholars that they're listening to, which are these Indo-Europeans that control the narrative, they're a bunch of lies. You know, just about whatever they say now, it's a bunch of lies. And we even see that now with what's been going on. It constantly changes.
Mm-hmm.
And who did, in their scripture, who did they say that you were liars like your father? You know, this came to me. I was reading a book of mine, and I had went back and was reading another page that I had read previously. And I like books in my hand. I don't like electronic books because I take notes when I read my books. And I wrote something on the outside of that book. And what I wrote was, the Bible is not of the Creator. And I had, because He's true. And in the Bible are half true, half lies. And He is true. There's no part right or part wrong about Him. He's true. So if it's something that is not fully truth, then it is not of Him, because Congo is truth. So this is man trying to understand who the Creator is from a perspective that's not even their own. That's what the Bible is. If we're honest, if people are honest with themselves.
Yeah, if you're seeking truth, you don't look outside, you look within. Know thyself.
Ugu Bani.
Oh, my brother Luzolo, you said a lot right there. You know, I've been sharing with Brenda and Miguel just this morning. I was listening to an elder from Africa, and he said that same thing. He said, if you're looking for the Most High, he said, look within you. He said, that's where he is.
Sabona, I see the king in you.
Oh.
Yeah, so for too often, for too long, we've been duped. We've been duped. You know, our people have been duped. In this book that I was reading, it talked about when the Portuguese were the first, of course, we know in 1400s that came into Congo. And they saw how beautiful the kingdom was and how well developed it was, and they wanted it. And they use religion. I'm just gonna cut it short to the chase here. They use religion to conquer our people. And what they wanted to do was to get us to change our culture and our way of thinking and to view them differently. And I'm gonna tell you this, I told you all previously that our ancestors saw white as evil spirits. So when they came, they thought they were afraid. I saw a child in the 21st century recently, from the village, seeing a white man for the first time. That child was frightened. He was running away. He was crying because they feel that these are ghosts. These are evil entities. And Black was not portrayed that way. But they tricked us so till they have switched it now to everything that has to do with Black, even the continent itself. And when I say Black, I'm talking about us melanated people as well. That our continent is evil. Everything is evil and demonic. And we believe this stuff. All right.
Yes.
So Hellenistic philosophy, like Mama Doris said, it is the root of Christian theology. The elements of some of the early Greek philosophers' theories regarding creation, soul, and salvation are reflected in the development of early Christian thought. So it came from these Greek philosophers. This is how this Christianity, modern Christianity anyway, of the West was created, based off of these Greek philosophical thinking, not off of spirit, what they thought, their ideology. So, you know, I asked my mom one time, I said, you know, the Bible says that, you know, it talked about Yesiah, the Messiah, and how he did all these miracles. And he said that, and ye shall do greater, our work should be greater than his. I said, have you ever stopped to think about all what he did? And he said that we would do greater, but we don't see that manifest. Why? Have you ever thought about why? She said, no, I haven't. He said, we will do, not should do. He said, we will do greater. But the time is coming now, Bonaventure, that we will do greater, because we are waking up and we're realizing who we are, and the lies are being exposed, and we're pushing those lies aside and pushing in and gravitating towards that truth. And with that come a change, a shift in our thinking, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we live. And they know it is a shift. We see that there's a change in the cosmos. There's a change happening in the earth, and we being connected to it as well. It's a shift and change in us as well that's happening.
Yes.
Because we're connected to it.
And if you look at it, Hellenistic philosophy was converted into Christian doctrine. So you have Protestants, you have the Baptists, you have the Lutherans, all that converted into a doctrine. And there's only one people that don't have a doctrine. And that's us.
Yes, sir.
What they say, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes.
So they had what they call a post-Hellenistic, as you all can see, philosophy. And it says that it was a period during which the Greco-Roman philosophy began to have substantial influence in Jewish and Christian thought in the first century. And again, we know that they say that's when Christianity was developed, in the first century. So it's interesting that all this stuff was happening when Christianity was on the rise. It said middle of Stoicism is Christianity's dominant philosophy. So Stoicism is its main philosophy. Main philosophy. I'll get you in a minute, Royal daughter. Let me finish this here and then I'll get you. It says, but it was replaced by Neoplatonism by the middle of the 3rd century. So it initially started out as Stoicism, and then it changed to Neoplatonism. And all of this has to do with Greek Hellenistic philosophical thinking. All right, Royal daughter.
You know, the scripture says, search the scriptures, for in it you find truth. So, you know, Tata Nzambi knew that in this time, they would rewrite our book, they would omit from the book, they, you know, to steer us away from spirituality. But even when we read the Bible, we still, our spirit connects with certain things.
Yes.
So he said, in it you will find truth, but it is the spirit, the Muandan Semi, that will tell you this is truth.
Yes.
And this is not truth.
Yes, ma'am, you are absolutely correct.
You know, I'd like to respond to Galaxy Tab. What's her name? Rachel. You put in the comment, we are the doctrine, our lives. You're so correct. There was saying that we used to say back in the day, and some people may still say it today, and that is, our lives may be the only Bible that people read. You know, so when the Most High said that we are his children, made in his image and his likeness, that means in everything we're to represent him. So what people don't see or don't read in the Bible, they should be able to see in us. So that was a powerful text that you put in there as well, Matondo.
Yes, yes. Now, what people fail to understand is, especially those people that feel like the Bible is the go-to and the all-to, because some people believe that's it, nothing else. Since I'm outside of Christianity, organized religion now, I see where it did not allow one to really think. You know, you had others thinking for you, because if the Bible is the go-to all-to, what about the time before the Bible? What about those people? How do they live? And I told somebody those people lived a more righteous life than the majority of us today. You had Massa, you had Abana, you had Methuselah, you had Adama. You had all these people didn't have what we call a Bible today, and these people, Noah. But see, they don't think about this. How did they live such righteous lives if they did not have what we call the Bible today? See, people in organized religion need to think about these things, but it prevents you from thinking. Even the most educated individual in church, they don't even reason these thoughts and examine things of this nature, because it is chains. Religion put chains on your mind. And when you begin to go back in history to see when they brought this Christianity over onto the continent, they said Congo was the first area that they colonized with Christianity in 1490. I think it was 3-2, somewhere up in there, in the 1490s. And you will see what it has done. Ever since we have taken upon the ways of somebody else, we have been some downtrodden people. Our land has been downtrodden. Do anybody ever think about that? Ever since we laid down our ways of life, people have been walking on us, mistreating us, stealing, robbing, raping, killing. And nobody seems to think about that there's a connection? There is a connection.
Brother Kongi, you had your hand raised. Brother Kongi.
I can't move.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe now that the time for persuading is over. We can continue, we continue to preach, but to try to persuade is over. There's going to be a very few. I know there's many people who complain and said, you know, these people in the church, they just not going to get it. They don't want to understand. Well, some of us are chosen. Some of us will awaken, but it's going to be a few of us. It's not going to come in big droves like that. I use myself as an example. I was in Jehovah's Witness for 27 years.
Whoa.
27 years. I did it all. I was preaching all over the place. And then one night, the voice came to me and said that this is wrong.
Whoa.
It wasn't a spoken voice, but it was more of an inner communication. And then things started coming to me. I started being directed to different places, different places for information. And I started to gain an understanding of what spirituality was outside of this religion stuff. And some of us, and I knew that some of us are chosen, some of us will awaken, but the most of us will enjoy life at a luxury prison because it's nice, not realizing that they're in a prison and that they're stuck there. So we shouldn't, complain, angry. I hear people like that all the time. Wow, these religious people, they're in these churches, they just not going to get it. Well, they're not supposed to. And again, when you look within, well, their makeup, who they are, they're not supposed to. They're not going to. That's the spirit they have. So we continue on. We preach. Those that will listen will listen. Those that will awaken will awaken. Those that are chosen will know that they're chosen because the Spirit is going to contact and let them know that they're chosen. We just continue to gain an understanding and start to learn self. Who am I? Who am I?
Yes.
Man, you've been saying some powerful things this morning too. And what you said should encourage people to continue ministering. It may look like people are not listening. People don't want to hear you, or they're not hearing you. But when the Most High have created you to do what you're doing, somebody is listening. Even if one person says, I hear you, I receive what you're saying, and I will change, I will come to the Most High by what you said, and I believe it. You reached who you're supposed to reach.
Yes, I see. Mama Nicholas said religion emphasizes no private interpretation of the Bible. Any thought or idea different from the established doctrine is put down. And this was initiated around the 1st century, that they would kill or even imprison people and put them on islands if they thought differently than they, or spoke differently than they, or had a different dogma than they. So this started years ago. So if you think differently than mainstream, organized religion, then you're ostracized, as we are ostracized, and called names or whatever, crazy, or whatever they say. But I don't want them to think that we're bashing them. We're just giving them the truth. And the truth, sometimes it hurts. The truth hurts sometimes. And so with that being said, I have a dear close friend of mine that's, I call her like my little sister, that's on here. And she's still in Christianity, you all, and I love her. I want her to comment. I want to hear what she has to say about this. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, my dear, but I want to hear your thought on some of the words that have been said now, because I talk to her a lot. She'll tell you all, I share a lot of things with her. to help her to see and understand the true perspective of who we are as a people and the lies that we have been told. So Sharon.
You're not putting me on the spot, honey. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. But just as she said, I love her dearly as well. And I've been on this journey with her from the time that she started just saying, I want to know who I am. And that's how it started with her journey. And just as she said, once I hear my phone going off, it's just going right behind each other. I said, oh, that's Brenda. I get it after a while. That's Brenda. She sending something. But definitely this conversation on today, this time today, is just really good. And and I'm grateful for the opportunity just to be here, to hear what God is doing in the lives of his people.
Yes.
For that. And even in my own, and just as she said, I'm still in Christianity. And heard different people say, even here, of how God has dealt with them regarding Christianity. And
Sharon, you cut out.
Okay.
You cut out.
Okay, hold on.
We hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Just a different mindset in the way that we perceive. I have realized this for myself personally because of my
Okay, you went out again.
It's just low.
Okay, what about that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, hopefully that'll work. I'll take that earpiece out. Hopefully that'll hurt. But on personal journey and walking with God, it has been a journey of getting away from what I have known all my life. And just like I've told Brenda before, it's like, that is hard because I have related to religion my whole life, even though I've seen in religion of how it has confined and shaped and imprisoned. And I like the way that he put it a few minutes ago of a lavish imprisonment and loving it. And so it's just like, yeah, that's exactly what religion does. But one thing that has helped me along my journey is that it's not about religion, but it's about having a relationship. And that has helped me more than anything, of knowing that I have a relationship with the Creator. And not only that I have the opportunity, but that he wants to have one with me. And that it's more important for me to have that relationship with him, not only to know him, but to know myself even more. So this conversation today, this time today, is just helping me in my journey. And it's good, and I love it.
Yes, yes, hallelujah. Oh, habari bana too. She said, greetings, Sabbatha. Glad to see you on. Luzo had his hand raised. Go ahead, my brother. Luzolo.
I was going to say that the sister, I understand what you're saying. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult because when the message came to me, I was 2 weeks alone by myself trying to reconcile what the heck is going on here. I was messed up. You know, you're trying to figure out all of this that you've been accustomed to for so many years, for so long in this religion, and now it's not true. It's a lie. Wait a second. Hold on a minute. What exactly is going on here? So it's not going to be an easy step, but the thing to do, that may help you is to again look within yourself. Look within yourself. Learn who you are. Now, at this point, you may not fully understand what that means, but if your journey is to find out, the Spirit will help you. If that's in your heart to know the truth, to learn the truth, it'll come to you. It's not going to be easy, but if you're consistent and persistent, the Spirit will help you. The Most High will be with you. That's all I want to tell you.
Yes, yes. Kangi?
Yes, I was just going to say to Queen Sharon, I was in the same place that you were a few years ago in Christianity. And the one thing that I feel confident about today is that the very fact that you're here, Tatan Zombie has began to awaken you to who you are. Just continue to pray and he'll continue to reveal to you. Because a few years ago, it would have been hard for me to come out of that church. I don't want to hear until he awakened me. And then there was one day that I was made up my mind. I know I'm going to church today. I got to the church and I couldn't even get out of the car. As much as I wanted to open the door, I couldn't get out. And I just had to put the car in drive and drove on off and never went back. But yeah, the very fact that you are here, my queen, it means that he is awakening you. I just wanted to share that with you.
Dira had asked a question and I forgot, I meant to answer it and we got caught up in the comments and things and forgot about it. We was talking about why is this about people being awakened and some are not, and she asked why is that so. You know, we're in that phase now where we're being awakened. Everybody that is going to awaken has not awakened yet. And you know, Queen Kelly said something that was profound. It was simple but yet profound, that we need to be patient with one another. But above all, we need to be patient with ourselves. This here indoctrination has taken place for hundreds and hundreds of years. So it has shaped, as Sharon said, as Queen Sharon has said, it has shaped who we are today. All our lives, I've been in church, as she said, I was in my church all my life, in the church all my life, and it was hard for me to come out. I remember Man Zombie said, I'm not going back. He left. Me and our youngest son was still going, but I did not want to. You know, I'm not going to get into why I was still going. And I finally said, I'm not going back. And I haven't looked back anymore. And I don't want to look back anymore, because when you're on the outside looking in, you're able to see the lies, the manipulation, and the Most High, as Luzolo said, he will continue to reveal things to you. He's not going to give it to us all at one time because it will overload us. So to answer your question, Dira, it's because, you know, people, just like with the popcorn theory that Manzambi talked about one time about this man when we was in Christianity, he preached about popcorn don't pop all the time, right? You have some that pop you know, a few minutes later, and that's how it is with this awakening. So everybody's not going to awaken at the same time. You're going to have, you know, phases of it. But we see right now, we're living in a time where people are awakening quicker than what they did in the past because of the dispensation that we're living in. We see some of the things that's written in the Bible that have come to life, that is happening now.
And if I can say real quick, and I know Queen Royal Daughter, your hand was up and someone else had raised their hand. I just want to say real quick in responding to Queen Dira. And that is also one of the reasons why some of us are awakened is because there are those of us who have been called or not called. I hate using that. Those of us who have been created for such a time to start speaking, you know, as we have awakened, you know, what we're to do is now to react now. to start walking in it and working. So there are those of us who are awakened now that are supposed to start walking in what they were created to do, to help awaken others. So that is one reason why everyone is not awakening yet. Some of us have. So Queen, royal daughter.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, they were not able to infiltrate our minds. They beat us. That's why they had to go those lengths to get us, because they were not able to infiltrate our minds. But one of the ways that they do that is through trauma. So that's why they keep putting trauma in front of us. Every time we look at the TV, we see one of us getting shot, we get beat down, or we got raped, there's so much trauma, because with these emotional thresholds, they're able to jump in. So that's why they created trauma, so that they could fill us with their nonsense, basically. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That was the only way they could get us, and they beat it into us. They forced this into us. And so it's years and years and hundreds of years of conditioning that we have to get rid of now and undo.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, wow, we got 3 hands up. Wow, this is good. This is good.
I was next.
Okay, Gary.
Thank you.
This is good. I'm glad that this is happening. I haven't even gotten to the meat of it yet. That's okay, though. We're gonna have to do a part 2 on this, because this is needed. This is really needed, you all.
Absolutely.
So I thank you all for being participating more so today than normally. So evidently this was needed, and you guys wanted it, because there's a lot of interaction that's going on with what is being talked about today. So it's very evident clearly that this was something that was inside of you all that wanted and needed to get out. Go ahead, Darren.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, I don't remember which king mentioned it, but he was saying, some of us is chosen, and this keeps coming up for me, because I've been trying. I have a girlfriend who knows she's Bantu, but she gets the courage one week when she's at her old assembly, and she gets the courage. Oh, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. And then she'll be good for 3 weeks, a month, and then she'll get the phone calls and get pressured, and then she'll go back. So we were talking yesterday, and she actually had a dream where it was showing her that she shouldn't go back. And then my brother had a dream about her, same thing. So, I'm tired of kind of talking to her, because she knows, but one of the brothers was like, well, everybody's not chosen. So I'm thinking maybe she's just not chosen. Like, how do we know? Like, one of the queens in here was like, it's, we got to plant the seed. I know that. But it's up to the Most High to water that, and plant and let it grow. But everybody can't, I'm just saying, everybody can't be saved, right? Everybody is not going to be saved. And so, I mean, why is that? Why some of us are chosen, some of us are not? Is there somebody in our ancestral line that, was really good and really, kept the faith, and we're being rewarded for that? Like, why is, I'm just curious, does anybody know why all of us are not going to be saved? Because we are the children of the book. You would think, all of us would, wake up at different times, of course, like the popcorn theory, but that we all would still wake up, but it doesn't look like that. Why some of us are chosen and some of us are not?
Well, I'll say this real quick, and then Manzambi got his hand raised over here, even though you all can't see it. I would say this, the beauty about our Creator is that He give us the free will, the free mind to think. And so the sister that you're talking about, the Father has already spoken to her. The Spirit has already revealed to her what she is to do. So it is up to her to make that the decision. He's not going to force it on her. So some people like, you know, this,
But is
this
that
was kinda
chosen though?
that was kind of answered by Luzolo, you know, earlier, you know. Everybody's not going to cleave to this and want, they want to, who's that said they're going to die in luxury? Wasn't that you, Luzolo, that said that?
No, I didn't say that.
It was
That wasn't me.
somebody that said that, something to that, and maybe it was Kanye. Somebody said it, but they're going to die in luxury with something. It may not be those exact words. So she's already been given, you know, the warning. She's already had the dream. Now it's up to her to receive it or to reject it. We
But
can't
is
force
that mean
nothing on
she's
nobody.
chosen though? Because when you chosen, you don't got a choice, right?
Yes, you
If
do
you
have a choice. The Most High always
you-
give us a
oh,
choice.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you still got a choice.
Yes, you have a choice. He doesn't force nothing on us.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you know, many
if
are
she's
called,
chosen-
but not every is chosen. So I don't know.
Okay,
If
let's
she's chosen, she'll
let's
know.
scratch that out from that Christianity perspective right there, because it's seeping in. The Most High has told her not to go back.
Yeah.
No different than when he told our ancestors, don't worship them gods of those people when you go there. And what did they do?
They worship.
This, okay, so we have a choice. He told her what to do. Just like when you hear something said, don't go down the street, that is that same spirit that spoke to her. Now you can disregard what the spirit said and override it and go down the road and end up in an accident. But you still have a choice. So yes, it doesn't mean she's not chosen. No, it does not mean that. It means that she just made the conscious decision not to heed the spirit and to be amongst the chosen. Okay, Darren.
Brother Lozolo, he was saying something as well.
I was saying, I had two things to say actually. One is that one problem that we have with our people is that those of us that are, this is why we have a hard time coming out and developing and growing and elevating our people, is because there's a plan in place. The rich of us, those that are wealthy and have money, that of us fall into that illusion of freedom, not knowing that they're still in the trap. The society and governments make them feel that they have reached where they need to be at. And as far as elevating our people and getting out of bondage, they don't see it because of this illusion that they're already free, and not knowing that they're still in a cell. It's a nice looking cell. They can get whatever they want in that cell, but it's still a prison. Not understanding that if they were to get out and if they were to use that wealth to help elevate their people, they would see wealth beyond measure if they did that. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is, if you are chosen, you will know. The person will know. You'll know that you are without a doubt. You will know. Some of us are chosen to do certain things. Some of us have mandates that we need to do. Some of us are chosen to preach. All of us have different things that we have to do, but you'll know. And I'll share something. The Most High speaks to me in dreams, always has. It gives me revelations on things. Some things I share, some things I don't. But I had a dream years ago, but I was in this office. The phone rang. I went to the desk and I answered the phone, and it was a voice, and it said, "You're chosen," and it hung up. And then after that, things started coming to me of things that I needed to do and things I needed to be involved in. You come to know what you need to do. You come to know what your mandate is. You come to know what your mission is. You come to do those. You have to do those things. And again, you have a choice. It would be stupid to choose another route and to not do that, because then you're just you're killing yourself. You're destroying yourself by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone has a choice. And if you are chosen, you will know without an absolute doubt of what you need to do. And then if you make the right decision and you choose to follow that path, then those riches will come. But you build up those riches for later. Right now, you work in the world. When you go before the Most High, you can. And what did you do? What did you do while you was on that planet Earth? What did you do when you were down there? What did you do? You can feel good. You can name it, but you don't have to, because a record has already been kept. That's just a rhetorical question. He already knows what you've done. But those are the things I was saying. If you're chosen, now as far as the sister, you asked, well, has she being chosen? Well, she's being, the Most High is being gracious to her. She's being favored. He said, don't go back.
Mm-hmm.
If she chooses to go back, that's being defiance. That she made her choice, and that was free will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will answer this to your question too about your friend, Queen. You said that she does good for about 3 weeks, a month, something like that. Then she gets phone calls. Okay. The phone calls are pressures to her.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what we tell people, because we know when you don't go to church for a couple of weeks or something like that, the members or the pastor are going to call you. Hey, we missed you. Where are you at? Is everything okay? We want to see you, and what she has to do is make it up within her mind and say, I'm not going back, because there's something that I have learned that the church is not teaching me. So, I'm going to walk this walk and live, what the Most High has created me to do. So, she has to ignore those calls, so when they say, are you doing okay? I'm good. We haven't seen you in church. I'm good. And, as of right now, she can say, depending on where she is, the Most High or God is dealing with me right now. That's all she has to tell him. He's dealing me with right now, but I'm good. And she has that choice. Now, that dream that she has, the Most High had told her not to go back. She need to take heed to that dream and not return. The other thing too that I want to say real quick is not all of Asolele who came out of Kamata, out of Egypt, made it, because they chose to stand on the side of Baal.
Exactly.
Remember when Massa asked them, those who are on the side of Nzambi, stand with me. Those who are on the side of Baal, stand over there. And what happened to them? The earth opened up and swallowed them. They were Asolele. They chose not to walk with the Most High. So not all of Asolele is going to make it. Why? Because it's their choice.
But the Father knows.